right, this exercise that we're gonna go over as part of the warm-up is rocking. Now, I got this from Original Strength and Tim Anderson. If you wanna go down that rabbit hole, you can go down and get way more information on it and all the benefits behind it. Essentially, it's taking things back to how it was that we learned to move as infants, right? In this video, we're just gonna keep it short and concise without going super sciencey and just show you what you can be doing with this. Now, the rocking is simply rocking back and forth in that quadruped position. There's a few different variations that you can do to open up your hips, but it's great for opening up your wrist flexibility, getting a little bit of core activation in there, opening up your hip mobility, practicing our squat pattern in a lot of good ways, and working on a little bit of that upper back, upper neck strength. So when we get set up, quadruped position, toes are tucked, right? I'm gonna go at a 45-degree angle here just so you can get a better view of everything. But my forearms are vertical, thighs are vertical. And now I'm just going to sit back, butt to the heels, and then I'm going to rock forward, let those hips fall down to the ground into that cobra stretch, and then rocking back and forward. Now you might need to stretch your grip out just a little bit, depending on your body proportions. So we're in here, but we're gonna get 2 vertical forearms at the front and just rocking back and forth. The key on this is you wanna keep your eyes up the entire time. So we're working on keeping those neck extensors and opening up and strengthening that upper back, which if you think about the amount of time that we spend sitting or looking down at our cell phones and our hands, this is awesome for helping to undo some of that, open up our thoracic, and just get some nice mobility. It's a very gentle stretch. You know, you can talk your way through it and realistically can start to knock this out for, I'll do sets of 50. So start off at like 20 reps, just nice and gentle, rocking back and forth, sitting back to your heels as far as you can, as far forward, and then letting those hips drop and feeling that hip flexor stretch as far as you can. 20 reps, you can work your way up to 50. I can do it for time, so like 30 seconds continuous, a minute, 2 minutes. There's a drill called the 10-minute rocking drill that it includes a few different variations. We're gonna go over some of those right now. And there's a lot of ways you can play and just explore. You know, as Tim Anderson says, play around with it, you know, have some fun. Now, the next one that you can do is what we call adductor rocking, or basically sticking one leg out to the side and sitting back onto our heels and stretching out that groin. So what that looks like is from the front here, right in here, and we're just gonna rock back and rock forward and sit down into that stretch, rocking back and forward like so. Nice and easy, just getting some movement in the shoulders and the hips, and you're gonna feel that hip flexor and groin, especially right in here and the front as you go through that range of motion. Now you'll notice if I go from the side view here, I'm trying to bring my leg straight out to the side, so it's directly in line. And now as I sit back, I'm sitting back, eyes up, and then rocking forward, letting the hips fall. Nice and easy like so. My foot, inside of my foot staying glued to the ground. Obviously the outside's gotta come up a little bit because, well, his body's not quite built that way. But over time, it opens up that mobility. And again, as with the other rocking, eyes up, just sitting back and enjoying that gentle stretch. Next version that we have is what we call the hamstring rocking. And so that is similar to our Spider-Man position, if you haven't watched that video yet, where all we're gonna do is we're gonna bring one leg up. So setting up right in here, I'm bringing my foot up towards my hand, and I'm just gonna sit back as far as I can and rock forward as far as I can. Now, this is obviously gonna be a shorter range of motion. So I'm not getting my butt all the way back to my heels, but that's okay. We're just working with what we have. As we sit back, you feel that hamstring stretch. As you rock forward, you feel that inner thigh and that hip flexor stretch on the other side right here. So that's our hamstring rocking. Now, another variation you can do is you can do what's called circles, which is literally making circles. So right in here, in my quadruped position, and I'm just going to sit back, and then I'm going to circle out to the side and around like so. So I'm imagining that my body's just rotating kind of like a record, and just spinning around that center point. What it looks like from the front, so you can really see, is I'm rocking around, still sitting back, but to my heels at the back, and still coming forward into not quite that full cobra stretch, but getting that stretch in the wrists and just working on that circle rotation right there. So this would be our rotational or circle rocking. Now, the other variation that you can do to add a little bit of difficulty to do this is you can do what's called elevated rocking. And elevated rocking is literally just rocking, but with our knees off the ground slightly. So what that will look like is from the side here, picking my knees up, I'm sitting down, butt to my heels, and then rocking forward into that cobra stretch, not letting my knees touch the ground. My toes are still dug in, and then I'm sitting back and forward. Now this is going to be much more taxing. Nice and easy rocking, keeping those knees close. And this is going to feel your abs work, your arms have to do some work, your hip mobility is going to be taxed. All of those things are going to open up for you in the elevated rocking, as well as starting to get a little bit out of breath there because we're moving back and forth. And the goal is we want to keep our spine flat, eyes up the entire time, working that range of motion. And again, working on that squat pattern, because if you take that rocking movement and you flip it vertical, we're in a great squat pattern as we come down and up. So that is our rocking. We'll catch you in the next video.